We are live. Hello,
Hi.
hello, hello, everyone.
Hello out there.
Hello, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, 12 o'clock, going live here in the Facebook group. Oh, my glasses is cricket. Facebook group. We're on Facebook page and we on YouTube going live. I have a special guest, Dr. Amina James. Um, she is you're part of my investing bestie too. Now that I think about it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Wait, no, because you didn't invest in the Indiana deal.
Okay. But I
So
was there the first time around.
I'm just playing.
Boom. Boom.
Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. She's still my investing bestie. She is. She really is. But yes, for those who not know me, my name is Devon Reese. I am the president and founder of the Vaughn Group, where we teach people how to become successful hotel owners. I'm also an asset manager, an internal asset manager and I have 3 hotels in my portfolio. One in Oklahoma, the Home Two Suites in El Reno, and 2 in Indiana, Staybridge Suites in Indianapolis, and a Hampton Inn in Suites in Scottsburg, Indiana. And I am super excited. I have a special guest, another investing bestie, Dr. Amina James. She is an investor extraordinaire. I'm like so proud to know her. This woman is amazing, y'all. Like, I mean, I'm telling you. Um,
Mhm.
just just a little, from the investing side, she is invested in 2 hotels,
Two. Mhm.
tech startup, and she has a beach house, y'all, in Hampton, Virginia. Her and her
Mhm.
husband, Team James, shout out to Norland. They have a beautiful beach house. It can sleeps up to what? Up to 14 people?
14.
Up to
Mhm.
14 people. So if you all want to have a family vacation, have a girlfriend's trip, have a boys trip,
Mhm.
have a business retreat, we had
Yes, definitely.
we had
We
our business
did.
retreat there. So
We
that's
we
so
did.
definitely support black owned. Is black owned. So proud of her. But she can introduce herself better than I can. But she's a little humble with her introduction. So I wanted to make sure that people know how you the ish. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. I think you said enough. I guess I'll just share a little more. My name's Amina Gilliard James. My background is in organization development and learning. So I don't have like this years long background in hospitality or anything.
Mhm.
My husband and I were investors in residential real estate mostly before we switched over, not exclusively because we do have the beach house, as Devon mentioned, but before we switched over to hospitality, specifically lodging investing. And it's been a wild ride so far. And I'm starting to have FOMO now that you mentioned Indiana. I'm starting to have FOMO for missing that deal. But of course, I'm sure we'll get into. I've been up to some other things lately. So,
Girl, you got honey. What you about to do, girl? You gonna be like,
but yes, I'm very happy to be here. And hi, everyone.
so the reason why I brought Dr. James on, I get a lot of questions from the investor standpoint, right? So if you heard about Amina's story, she came in from residential, she didn't come in from hotels. So a
Mhm.
lot of you all, she transitioned into hotel ownership. She didn't
Mhm.
have Everyone has a unique story. She didn't grow up in hotels, she didn't go to
Mhm.
school for hotels. So how did you stumble across investing in a hotel?
Well, I kind of felt like a divine like feeling and really compelled to do so. And my husband at the time was talking about getting into multifamily units, apartment buildings.
Mhm.
And we were walking and looking at some. And I said, well, why don't we just like, what about hotels? But it was so, honestly, it was a bit strange because like the question was really, the first question we had to answer was, can you own hotels? Because we had never heard anyone talk about owning hotels. We didn't know, like, we kind of loosely knew like that there were franchises, but we thought you had to be like, super rich gazillionaires to like get into hotels. We didn't
Mhm,
know about investing. We're active in stocks and
mhm.
residential and all that stuff, but we just never really looked at that asset class or didn't even know that it was a possibility. So, like any good millennial, I hit the internet and started researching people. And I found Omari Head. He was
Shout
the
out to Hip
first,
Hop Hotel
yeah,
Broker.
yes, follow him on Instagram, Hip Hop Hotel Broker. He was the first person that I spoke to. And I reached out to him. He said, "Oh, yeah, call me. Let's talk." And he was just
Mhm,
nice, but also very insightful.
mhm.
And I just remember being in my office and like writing furiously because he talks so fast when he's excited. So I'm like, and subsequently, me and my husband ended up meeting up with him at a local hotel that he's familiar with, and just getting a lot of knowledge. I'm not also, met with a few others. Um, at the same time, my husband and I had a business broker, and I want to bring this up because it's a lesson I learned. We had a
Mhm,
business broker because we were looking into buying other types of businesses, fitness facilities. We were looking into restaurants at one time. So this broker was kind of helping us field some of those deals, but then we decided we wanted to focus on hotels, and he was
mhm,
able to find us some opportunities there as well. But I will say, if I had to do it all over again, I would have connected with specifically a hotel broker from the
mhm,
beginning because, business brokers are great. They can give you general business advice. But if you're looking to do something like invest or purchase a hotel, then it really has to be, um, the person has to have very specific knowledge about the process. And that's where hotel brokers like Omari come into play.
mhm.
And then from there, we just kind of just sorted through opportunities, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole of Facebook and Instagram, and it led me to Devon, and I joined her listserv, and then I just started seeing that she had deals, and we were like, okay, well, let's do it, and that's how we did it.
I know.
So I didn't know anybody. I kind of just like popped up on the scene, like somebody talked to me, but that's really what you have to do sometimes.
No, I love it. So just something important, just like a good recap. I love how you said you had to get it. If you had to do it all over again, you would get a broker specific, for the business, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of times, and the reason why I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of times people, and no shame to any other brokers, but
Hmm.
they'll say, of course I can do it. Think it's, I'm a broker, I can do anything. And no, you have to be specific, right? I'm specific
Yep.
to hotels. If somebody comes to me about multifamily, you know what? I may not be the best person for you, but let me find somebody else, right? Because
Right.
I just don't, I'm not a master in it, right?
Hmm.
And so I love how you said that, because if you would have connected with a specific broker specifically for hotels, um, the experience would have been a lot different. But I
Hmm.
like to take good out of everything.
Hmm.
You learned a lot
I did.
during that
I'm still
experience.
learning.
You're
Yeah.
still learning. I know.
Yes.
You're still learning, and it's great of what not to do, which is
Hmm.
preparing you for when you saw a good opportunity, right? So can you talk us a little bit about the hotels that are currently in your portfolio, and what are some of the things you did to analyze it to know, okay, this is the right investment for me?
Sure. So currently in our portfolio is the Home Two Suites in Oklahoma with you, and then we also are invested in a Hampton Inn in Georgia with another great hospitality queen, Kendra Plummer, who
Shout
has
out to
just like,
Kendra.
yeah, crazy amount of knowledge. So yeah, those two are it for right now. We're working on a third. Just a note about this process. Sometimes this process can take years. Even the hotel
Mhm.
acquisition process can take a long time. Sometimes it really shouldn't take years, but with COVID and everything, like, things can be drawn out.
Yeah,
So
especially if it's a development.
yeah, so we're currently working on another investment, but we kind of knew that three was going to be our limit for investments before we went into trying to do a sponsorship or be the general partners.
Can you
on
explain
hotel
that so
deals.
everybody knows what that is?
Yeah, so right now, as investors in the hotels that we are part of, we're limited partners. So the liability is less to us as limited partners when it comes to the operations of the hotel
Mhm,
and the functioning and the debt service and all that. But the person who's over the deal or sponsors the deal, they're the general partner, so they
mhm,
take the liability when it comes to the asset. So if things are due as far as debt service or mortgage, if things have to be fixed, if things go wrong, it is the responsibility of the general partner to manage all that. Um, and so, was that okay? Did I do good? Did I do good?
You did
Did I
excellent. What are you
Oh,
talking
okay,
about?
okay.
What are you
I want to
talking
make
about?
sure it made sense. Okay,
No, you
so
did make sense. Yeah, so you came in as a
yay,
limited
limited
partner.
partner. Uh huh.
So that means you really don't have any risk.
Right.
Um you leave it up to the general part. But one thing I will say that I think you did a good job with investing with smaller groups is because
Hmm.
you're able to talk to the sponsor. So if
Right.
you have questions, if you want to
Yeah.
learn, the process is a lot different as opposed to if you like
Hmm.
would invest it in a REIT or
Right.
invested, in a larger fund,
Mhm.
right? I'm sure the experience would have been a lot different. The returns would have been a lot different. Like, what are some of the things that you looked for when you were
Mhm.
going through the numbers? Like, what were the returns that you look
Yeah.
for? Did you create an ownership thesis, to
Mhm.
start off with? Like, just I want to hear from an investor standpoint
Yeah.
when you look at deals, what makes this good for your
Mhm.
investment portfolio?
Sure. So we definitely had an idea of the region that we wanted to target. So we are really looking in the southeast
Location.
of
I
the
heard
yeah
location. Okay.
southeast of the United States in the
Mhm,
Midwest. And as you can see, both of our hotels are in those regions. We really wanted economy or limited service.
mhm,
As we move into general partnership, we might look at different types. Like we might do boutique or we might do, um, more full service. But as an investor, we are really looking for something that would cash flow or
mhm,
that we could be kind of sure would bring in some type of return.
mhm,
I pay very close attention to the deal structure. Hotel deals can be structured in any number of
mhm,
different ways. So are we getting?
mhm.
Oh, Davon, are you frozen? Are you there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
there,
here.
there she goes. Okay. Deals can be structured
Oh,
in any number of ways. So, I paid attention to, what's the hold period? Are they going to try to sell after 5 years, 7 years, 10 years? How are we going to get our return on investment? Is the plan to refinance? Is the plan, upside potential? How are they going to achieve that upside? Meaning, how are they going to improve the efficiency of the hotel in order to bring in money and make the asset more valuable. How are they going to achieve that? So we had an investor thesis, if you will, just to
mhm,
determine like our location strategy, but we really paid close attention to the owner's thesis that the
mhm,
sponsors would deliver to us. As far as equity or return, definitely want to pay attention to the equity multiple. Um, what is to be expected
can you
when
explain
you
a little bit what an equity multiple is?
Ooh, I don't know.
Okay, the best
Okay,
way
okay,
to
no, I kn
explain.
okay,
Oh,
yes, you
okay, you go for it. No, go for it. You're a
well,
better
so the
teacher. You're the
equity
teacher, remember? You're a better teacher than
well,
me.
from what I understand, and then Davon will correct me if I'm wrong. The equity multiple is what you can expect to see as far as the return on your investment when you exit the deal.
Mhm,
So, if you invest $30,000 and it's a 2 times equity multiplier, your return on investment when you exit should be somewhere around 60,000. Is that right? Okay, good.
mhm,
So if you like invest in a deal and it has like a point 0.5 equity multiplier, it just depends. Because if you're
mhm,
investing, a lot, then point 0.5, could be fine. But it just depends on and what you're looking for. You really have to know, are you really looking for a once in a lifetime deal that's going to make you rich, or are you strategically picking up a few hotel investments here and there that you can add up. And it's really important to understand that your return, while, depending on how the deal is structured, you might get dividends throughout the whole period, but much of your return will come at the exit or the disposition of the hotel asset. So, hotel investment and ownership is definitely a long-term play for most, but that's also part of what we look at. Like, are we looking for a hotel that's going to sell for double what it was purchased for, in 7 years? Or are we looking for a hotel that's a cash cow and is going to provide, this much extra money in dividends each year? Like, these are two things you have to consider. I have a couple of other things I look for, but I'll pause there.
No, keep going, girl.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
people want to hear.
Yeah, so I'm big on market. Devon knows this. I'm all about like market. I have a tendency to go towards like charming places. We have our brand, Chronicle Lodging and Events, and we look for properties that are in locations that have a lot of history, especially history that's not often highlighted in dominant narratives. So Black history, Indigenous history, etc. We look for places like that. And even if you're not going the boutique route, you can still look for those type of opportunities. For example, the Home Two Suites in El Reno, Oklahoma. It's in an area that historically around that region of Oklahoma had a lot of Black business. And, just by Devon and
Mhm.
Jessica coming in and purchasing the hotel, it's really symbolic that the tides are changing back. So even though it is a Hilton branded hotel, just the representation of their ownership there speaks volumes. So I really look for opportunities like that because it's personal to me. But yeah, so when it comes to markets, I'm looking like, okay, what impact will this make? But of course, I'm a
Mhm.
businesswoman. So beyond impact, I'm looking at, what's there in the market that will bring people to the hotel. So what are their demand generators?
Mhm.
Is there a university nearby? Is there a business headquarters? Is there some annual meeting that takes place? Is there a sports team in the area? Like, and on top of that, what other hotels am I competing with? What
Mhm.
hotels are in my competitive set? Yeah, we can have all these demand generators, but if there's also already like 20 extended stay hotels in the area, it's like, will I be able to get my market share of business if I enter that market? And
Mhm.
then also, not everyone pays attention to this, but it's important to me. I learned recently that the things in the market or in the area that could be useful or exciting for guests, but that aren't don't bring them to the area are amenities. So,
Mm.
is there a shopping center nearby, an outlet? Is there a concert venue? Concert venue may not necessarily bring a lot of guests, but when they're there, it gives them to do something to do in town. So yeah, those are a few things I look for in the market specifically.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, Another thing you talked about let me recap. So
Okay.
I always say the three things that makes a hotel successful is the location, which you talked about.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
when you look, you're a part of your investment thesis, you look at hotels that has it's a story behind it.
Hmm.
You're just not buying a hotel because it's a hotel. You're like, okay, what is this doing for the community? What's the history of this community?
Hmm.
What's the culture? It sounds like part of your investment thesis, you look at as far as the type of return.
Hmm.
Some people look at least like a 2x multiple, which you mentioned, which is if you invest 25,000, when the hotel sells, you'll get a return of 50,000, which is twice your money back, twice your investment back. Another thing that I realized you talked about, which is demand generators, right? So when you're looking at a hotel, you're looking at, okay, what is going to bring people to this particular hotel, right? Is it going to be, sports? Is it going to be like whatever it is? What's it going to bring people to this hotel? And then do you look at the operator as well? Do you look at the operator,
Yeah.
look at the brand?
Yeah, so that was going to be my last thing related to that, and that also. So when I'm looking for a hotel deal, I want an owner or a sponsor that is going to be very motivated. I mean, just from, as you mentioned, I've been able to get some um, really front row experience and knowledge, being able to talk to you and Kendra about hotels and the operations, and also through the deal we've been working for a while now, and I've gotten a lot of hands-on um, experience helping the aspiring sponsor, figure some stuff out. So I really need someone who I am sure is not going to quit, because when I tell y'all, like, every that does not scare anybody, but it's just the truth. Every obstacle, everything that you can think of that can go wrong will in some fashion, because there's so many moving parts to it. And some deals are easier to get through than others. I've witnessed it, but all of them have their own unique challenges, from lending to operations to staffing to,
Even the
repositioning
seller.
to,
Remember, we
yes,
was
from the
working on
set.
a deal that didn't
Yes,
go through, and
yes,
yeah, and it was the seller that was
exactly,
holding it up. He had to walk
exactly.
away.
hmm And because my background is in organization development, I just have a knack for knowing, what needs to be done for something to operate more
Mhm,
efficiently and effectively. So I do look at the operator. I'm like, okay, are you going to keep this management company? Are they up to the
mhm,
standards that we would like to see? Is do we have to keep, because sometimes it is, the property is encumbered by management, and you kind of have to keep that
mhm,
management company until the contract runs out. Are you
mhm,
going to be an owner operator? Are you going to own the hotel and stay there and operate it? Be involved in the daily operations. I have not looked for deals with
mhm,
owner operators, just because the size of the hotels we were looking at as far as to invest in wouldn't
mhm,
really, they didn't lend themselves to having owner operators. You definitely needed a third party management company. But if you are open to a deal with an owner operator, like, make sure that person is motivated and has their stuff in order and has resources. The last thing you want is a cash call. And cash calls are when, you know, hopefully I explained this right, but, occasionally there might be things that happen, in the external or internal environment, for instance, COVID, that causes a hotel to deplete its operating capital. So they
mhm,
need additional monies to be able to continue or fix whatever the emergency or problem is.
mhm,
And that's what you want to avoid. Sorry, that's what you want to avoid as an investor, because you want to ensure that um, the hotel is operating as it should be, even if times are tough and you're not bringing in as much money as you would like to see as an investor.
mhm.
If there is that, what's it called, Devon? Um,
What?
that the repository, the
What, the reserve?
reserve.
Yeah,
If you want to
FF&E.
ensure, yes, you want to ensure that there is that reserve. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, I just said a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna zip it for a
No,
moment.
you did good, girl. People weren't complaining. People weren't complaining at all. Look, I'm just trying to get my
Cool.
hair together. Yeah. No, no, what you said was a lot of information. Just to recap. So basically what Amina was saying is what she looks for in a hotel, what she looks for when she invests. She looks at the sponsor, she looks at the structure, she looks to see at the operator. The operator, the management company is someone who's going to operate the day-to-day operations, right? She mentioned something that she will not invest in, is an owner operator model, right? Owner operated model basically meaning somebody who owns it and who's going to operate a day-to-day operation. She really wants to look at something where a third party operator or an internal management company, they're managing the day-to-day operations. She also looks at, as far as the organizational structure, she talked a little bit about cash calls, which something that I'm sure no one wants to participate in. And what a cash call is, for instance, if there's a negative cash flow or negative amount to keep the hotel up and operating, typically the owners will have to supplement and put cash in to revitalize the business. And she also talked about reserves, which is needed to, for renovations. So Thank you for talking about that. I do want to talk about, if it's okay with you to talk about the
Mhm.
Alberta beach house.
Yes, of course.
How'd you find it? And talk, where it's located,
Mhm.
I love it, y'all. Like, I can get
Yeah,
started.
Devon's been there.
It's absolutely. I've been telling everybody about it. I'm like, y'all need to have y'all family reunion there. Y'all need to have a business retreat there. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so hospitable. It was so beautiful. It was so. I mean, it was just so. It was so peaceful.
Mhm.
It was
It
really
is.
peaceful.
It is.
Everything was well laid out. The location was perfect. It was like five minutes away from the beach. So if
Mhm.
anybody who has kids or grandkids,
Yeah.
and it sleeps up to 14 people.
Mhm.
I mean, it's what, 5 minutes away from downtown
Yeah,
Hampton. We got to tour some black owned businesses. We got to
we
patronize some
did.
black owned
We
businesses.
did. It was
So
fun.
I mean, it was just an amazing
Yeah,
experience.
it was a lot of fun. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we have Chronicle Lodging and Events, which is at
Hmm.
Chronicle and Chill on Instagram and Facebook. And oh, excuse me. We were thinking of doing a bed and breakfast, but we were like, let's just do kind of a soft entry into a test market, the type of market that we would eventually like to enter with
Hmm.
either a boutique hotel or a branded hotel. So I searched high and low, and it just came to me. I was like, let's look in the Hampton Roads area
Hmm.
for this vacation rental. And we landed on Hampton, VA, which I knew nothing about. I think I had been there once in high school, so like 20 years ago, maybe. I was there, and yeah, we just went down. We actually found the house on Rolio, Vrolio, which isn't even a site that's like really super well known, but they are known for like listing properties for sale that have a history of operating or want to operate as vacation rentals. So
Say the website again?
Vrolio.
Vrolio.
Yeah, I think it stands for like vacation rental portfolio or something like that. Rolio. Um, it should still be operating. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so I found the house on there, and Devon knows that it was a very, very, very long process. You would think, this is a residential purchase, nothing too serious, but it took, let me see, from January, we went under contract and we closed in August because the market was so competitive, and it is a high traffic vacation area. It's like a family friendly, lower key alternative to Virginia Beach. And it's about 40-45 minutes from Virginia Beach, but the beach is clean. There's enough room. Devon's been there. She had her son on the playground. The people are friendly. There's restaurants and everything not too far from the beach house. You could actually go, I know it has my Amina James website up here. You can definitely find Chronicle Lodging and Events and the Alberta Beach House through there. You can go to visitchronicle.com if you want to drop that in, Devon, with the
Mhm.
visitchronicle.com site. We are listed on Airbnb and VRBO, and we might be on booking.com. I think Norland's working on that. Can't remember right now. But yeah, it's just the best place for like family reunions, homecoming. It's about 20-25 minutes from Norfolk State as well. Like a 10-minute drive to Hampton University. So yeah, we had a lot of fun when we did our business retreat there, and we weren't. There was what, like 10 of us there, and we weren't on top of each other. We could chill, and the weather
We had
was
our
still
own section at the
decent.
house. Y'all put the kids in the back,
Yes, yeah, we did.
which was
They had
good.
fun. Yeah,
Oh,
they had
they
their
had a
own
blast.
TV and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the weather was actually decent the day before they came.
yeah.
It was like in the
Right.
70s, and this
Yep.
was in November.
Yeah.
So I was chilling on the porch. So I can't wait for y'all to get here. And then the next day it was cold. So I kind of missed the good weather.
No, but no, I love it. I love your diversified investment portfolio. I think a lot of time people overcomplicate the process,
Mhm.
right? I like how, because I'm sure even with the experience with the Alberta house, even by you investing in hotels,
Mhm.
it helps you with your process of actually owning
Yeah.
your own hotel, I'm sure, right?
Well,
The piece.
Devon, if you remember, I like made a little pitch deck for the beach house, like way back when, in like
Oh yeah.
February, remember? And I presented it to you.
And what did I do? I said, you need this,
Yeah,
that,
exactly. Yep.
it helped the process.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of times people they're stuck on, okay, I don't have millions and millions of dollars, and you just provided different strategies.
Mm-hmm.
One, just starting with, owning your own, vacation home, because the operations, right?
Right.
Understanding how to
And
operate it.
and then the return on the investment is being
Mm-hmm,
funneled into our next project. And
mm-hmm,
there are multiple ways to do that. I'm not a finance expert, but we can get Aquania on here. She can talk about all that stuff. But this is business, right? So you have these different investments and then you have your end goal. So
mm-hmm,
this is just another stepping stone to our end goal of being general partners of hotel projects.
mm-hmm. No, I love it. Yeah, because you're actually looking for your own projects as we speak.
I
Like,
am. I
yeah, I'm
am.
so proud of you.
Thank you. It's a lot of work, but I find it to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's highs, there's lows. As you know, I had a disappointment because I wanted this place so bad, and Dave, I was like, "No, it doesn't make sense." And I was like, "Whatever, I'm gonna figure it out." And then so I went on my little merry way, like the rebellious kid, and like did more research and got more numbers. Then I came back and was like, "It's not gonna work out." But that's just what you have to do. It's going to happen like over and over and over again because and
Yeah.
the market's very competitive right now. So like
Yeah.
you might be looking at a deal like, "Oh, this could work," and then somebody buys it, the same
Like
day and you're
literally.
like,
Yeah, that's what's going
"Oh."
on. Yeah. Like I had a pitch competition in my mastermind, and some of the students didn't want to they couldn't go through with it because the hotels they were looking at it went under contract.
Yep.
So the market is definitely changing. It's a lot of hotels for sale. There's
Mhm.
a lot of hotels that didn't make it through COVID, and so those are
Yep.
up for sale too. But the reason why I said no to that particular project because
Mhm.
it wasn't enough demand.
Mhm. Mhm.
It wasn't
Yeah.
enough demand. So my tidbit for you all is when you're looking for deals, first, before you even dig down into the numbers, is there enough demand? What's going to bring people to this
Mhm.
hotel? Right. And it can't just be one demand. It can't be, oh my gosh, it's this big, water park down the street. Okay. So what happens if the water park closes? Then who's coming to your hotel?
If
Right.
I could offer, because so for me, when Devon said that, I was still kind of gung ho because she knew that it would be more like a legacy property for us. It would be like the first
Mm-hmm.
installment of our branded or soft branded boutique hotels.
Mm-hmm.
But in that case, you can't just go into it blindly and be like, okay, there's not enough demand generators, but I'm still going to give them asking price. So what I did was let them know that I could purchase it well below asking price. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
work, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have worked, for another deal. So just because something doesn't look perfect, it's all a negotiation. And
Absolutely.
sometimes you just have to shoot your shot. If I could have
Oh yeah.
gotten it for a certain number, then I think both Devon and I would have agreed that maybe I could make it work.
Yeah.
But for that number and then not having like the demand and plus some
Mm-hmm.
other stuff that was going on with it, it just wasn't going to work.
Yeah. 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 No,
I, li- I listened to you, Hotel Mom.
you're so funny. You're so funny. Um, but I will say that you just shared a lot of great information. I think it's what you shared a lot of people they're looking to buy, their hotel, they're looking to invest, but they don't know what
Mhm.
questions to ask, they don't know how. Like, and I think you provided your insight is different because it's like, okay, I've been through this, I went through this is my process, this what's helped me, this is what hasn't helped me, this is what I wish I would have learned. So hopefully, and I'm sure your story has touched a lot of people. And
Ooh, yes.
go for it.
Can I pitch myself
Yeah,
in 30 seconds?
girl.
Okay. Hello,
You can have
Facebook and
60
YouTube
seconds.
world. Oh, because I know Devon was going to tee me up to do this anyway. So my husband and I and our company, Chronicle Lodging Events, are currently looking for hotel projects. I'm actually kind of on a fast track because I'm in a pitch competition. So if you are looking for ways to invest, please contact me. You can contact me, through social media, through my website. You can email agilliard@gmail.com. And then when we have a deal ready for you, which will hopefully be in the next couple months, we'll get everyone together. We'll meet with you personally and we'll pitch. And if you're looking for a motivated self starter, that's me and my husband. My husband was 20 years in the military. So we will be a partially veteran owned business. He retired a couple years ago. He also has an MBA and he specializes in supply chain and financial management. And we both are, but Devon knows I'm like, with hotel stuff. I'm 100% self taught in hospitality over the last 2 years. And my brain has grown an enormous amount because I'm a researcher. And sometimes, I'm usually humble, but I will say this. Sometimes when I talk to people in the industry, they can't believe that I didn't go to school for this. So, hopefully that won't deter you because I definitely know what I'm doing.
She does.
And that's my pitch. Thank you.
My name is Devon Reese, and I approve that message.
Yeah.
Yes. So definitely stay connected, you guys. She is in the Facebook group, Black Hotel Investors Facebook group. So definitely connect with her. She'll definitely be having some projects coming up. It will be some opportunities. I know some folks are like, "Oh, Devon, I'm looking for opportunities." I'll provide her information in the chat. Yeah, so definitely that's you had to stay connected. People, some people missed the email with the 2 Indiana hotels. I'm like, I don't know how you missed it. I sent it a couple times.
Yeah,
Can't
you
can't
always send them multiple times. You are good
yeah,
at that. You give people an opportunity, that's for sure.
yeah. So I only, send it as an with the deals, we have to send it in a way where um try to and typically the deals go out to the folks who are in my my classes. So
Can I ask you a question, Devon?
of
If we
course.
have time,
Yeah.
because I don't know that I'm the best at explaining this, but I know you can do it. So I know when it came to me in Norland, we had the money set aside for different investments, but I
Mhm.
know that's not the case for everyone. So, like, what tips can you share on being able to get your funds, your coins together to invest in a hotel project?
Sure. So, I would definitely recommend if you don't have the immediate cash, because some people what they do, they use the proceeds from an investment, they use that to invest. Some people use their self-directed IRAs to invest, meaning their retirement plans. A lot of people don't realize this. I actually just talked to one of my girlfriends, and maybe a potential investor for you. One of my girlfriends, she didn't, and she, wants to invest, but she was like, "Oh, I don't want to use my cash because I want to, buy another house." And I was like, "Well, I'm sure you have, a lot in your retirement. You can use that." She didn't even know. Very financial savvy person, great credit, she has she has a retirement, she has, the things in order that just to get her ready for, financial success, when she retires. And a financial freedom when she retires, and she didn't know anything about using her retirement account to invest. And so I say this again, I can't say it enough. That's a way that you can use, because hotels is a long-term investment, right? So you don't want to invest the funds that you need for a rainy day. Like, don't use that, because you can't pull it out. Like, it's gonna be there for a minute, right? Or you won't be able to get your full amount back. So definitely want to be cautious. I also recommend that you work with a financial advisor. Speak with your financial advisor. Let them know what you're trying to do. Talk with your CPA. Let them know what you want to do, because they know your situation the best, right? And if you don't have a financial advisor, let me know. I can connect you with one, right? So the goal is, I'm taking a page from my brother Damon Smith. We're building this ecosystem, right? Amina is a part of the ecosystem, right? We want as many people as we possibly can to be a part of the ecosystem where we help each other out. We want to see more people who look like us. You're looking at two hotel investors on the screen, two Black female hotel investors on the screen, and that doesn't happen a lot. But now it's happening more and more and more, and tears are lit. I mean, y'all can't see the tears, but tears are really coming down my eyes, because there are more and more people who look like us who are buying hotels, who are investing in hotels, or who even they're actually getting ready to invest in hotels next year. I got one of my students. She's in the chat. She about to buy her hotel. I ain't gonna call her out unless she tell me, but she about to buy her hotel. You know what I mean? So she's gonna need investors, you know. So we have to do this together because some people don't want to buy a hotel. They're like, look, I just want to invest. This too much. Where can I invest? But y'all, I need deals. So Amina, she's gonna have her deal coming up. We're gonna so we're working together, right? So Amina, again, how can people find you? I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Sure, and excuse the noise in the background. I'm actually in a hotel right now. I just love hotels so much. I'm living in one. Anyway, so yeah, you can go to AminaJames.com and learn about all my different businesses. You can go to actually, can you see the private chat? Because I'm gonna send you my email that they can use.
No, I can put it on. I just put your website. They can find you through the website.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And social media too.
Yep. So I put your social media on there.
And of course, I'm on LinkedIn as well. Amina
What
Gilliard.
Is it, Chronicle?
What the at Chronicle and Chill.
Chronicle and Chill. There we go.
That's the business one, but I'm also at Amina Gilliard James on just at Amina Gilliard James on Instagram. That's my personal one. And Gail wants to know how she can become your student, Devon. Hi, Gail. Do it. Oh, hey, cousin. Do it.
I gotta put it in the chat.
Yes.
How to sign. My mastermind is closed for this year, but I am having a webinar December 14th. It'll be my last webinar of the year. Actually, Amina got the workbook first.
I did.
Yeah, has it been?
It has. I'm so excited to finish going through it.
It's a lot of information, 62 pages. So I'm going through the workbook. My mastermind students, they received the copy. They should have received the copy already, but we're going to go through the entire acquisition process step by step, because there's really not a hotel checklist on how you buy a hotel. So I kind of I've been putting it together because my students like, isn't there a checklist? And I'm like,
we love checklists.
Yeah, I know. So I'm working on it. I'm working on putting together a checklist. The closest thing I came in at for right now was to put together that workbook to kind of help it a little better, kind of help the process, the steps. These are the questions. So I am working on putting together a checklist because there's really not a hotel checklist out there because every deal is different. So it's trying to put together a checklist that's like cookie cutter for like the basics. So I'm working on that. So hopefully
it's very helpful.
Yeah. I may, you know what I mean? It may be you and I, we need to collaborate because you're more of a process person. So I am a
process person.
Yeah. So you can, because I've gone through because you're going through it. So you'll ask me questions.
I can point out stuff.
I wouldn't think to put out because I'm like, it's here. So I just need to get it out there.
Yes, definitely.
We'll get that to y'all next year. But definitely, so I have my book that's coming out too. It's coming out January 25th. How to Buy a Hotel. So
I voted on the book cover. Are you gonna let the people know which book cover you chose?
I had to choose the one with the bell.
Ah, okay.
But the picture of me on the back, because everybody voted for the bell, and then the picture of me on the back.
Come on, y'all, that works. It's still gonna be nice.
So the book is coming out January 25th. I'm doing a book tour next year, so we're gonna next year.
2022 is lit.
Oh, 22 about to be lit. Yeah, 22 is about to be like, and then Amina and I, we got some news that's gonna be coming in Q1, Q2.
Whenever it comes, I'm gonna be like doing backflips.
So I don't think they're ready. They're not ready.
No, they're not. But they need to get ready. So
y'all need to
stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. So this year,
that's why I'm trying to get y'all ready now. Because when it come out,
when the ball drops,
you gotta be ready. So when Amina like, yo, I got a deal. Who want to get in?
I need y'all ready to come off the bench.
Right.
I do a lot of sports references. I'm a sports person. Sorry.
No, but this is great. Thank you all so much. Again, my webinar is here, let me put it.
Yes, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, go sign up for the webinar on my store and pre-order your book. When you I didn't even tell you this. When you pre-order your book, you're my investing bestie, so you get a copy.
Woo! Free stuff. I'm gonna order one anyway because I need to pass on the knowledge.
So
Want
wait,
me to give it
somebody
as a
crying.
gift?
Why they crying? Wait, we got somebody
Somebody's
sad.
crying?
Yeah, don't
What?
be sad. Why you sad?
Who's
Was that
crying?
the wrong emoji? But why weren't you crying? Are
Hopefully
you
it's
happy?
tears of
Is it? I hope
joy.
it's a happy sad.
Tears of
But
joy.
hope it's tears of joy. But so this is what happens, you guys, when you pre-order the book. So I'm doing a speaker series that's only for the people who pre-ordered.
Ooh.
Yep, yep, yep,
Okay. I
yep.
see you, marketing genius.
And so you won't. So these lives at the next after we got some. I got 2 more lives we're gonna do one every week. After that, it's gonna be for the people who pre-ordered.
I'm pre-ordering mine today because I don't want to be left out.
Then I'm doing a virtual shipping party.
What?
Yep, we're gonna have a virtual shipping party, and it's only gonna be for the people who pre-ordered. So we can have special guests. You'll be able to ask questions, get the
So
feed.
what brand of liquor is sponsoring this virtual shipping party?
Oh, you know what? It'll probably be.
Get your people on it.
It'll probably be Island John. That's my favorite vodka.
So I can go pick up my bottle.
Yeah, it'll
And
be.
you can have
You
a
know
signature
what?
cocktail. You can have a signature cocktail for your.
Shout out to Island John, and it's some. It's a black owned wine too. It's a black owned female wine. So that's who.
Ooh.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're
yep. That's gonna
welcome.
be for the shipping party. That's for the shipping party, and then also you get a signed copy.
Yes.
And then you'll get access, and all of this stuff will be in the portal. But the biggest thing is the speaker series. So just to give you a highlight, I have another black female hotel owner. Not only does she owns a hotel, she also owns a bank.
Ooh,
Yep.
fancy.
And she's under the age of 40. So she's gonna be a part of the speaker series.
Yes.
I'm bringing a REIT investor. I'm a
Nice.
part of the speaker series. So this speaker series is about to be dope. But that's only for the people who pre-ordered the book. The book drops on January 25th.
Pre-order. Make a note to myself.
Also, you know what? I mean, I need to give you there's a conference January 6th and 7th.
Okay.
So mastermind students, be on the lookout for an email today where I'm giving out 10 free tickets.
Ooh.
It's a conference full of investors and they need deals. So I'm a speaker. So I'm giving 10 tickets. Well, 9 because one going to Amina. So 9 tickets. It's in Orlando
today.
Yeah, this is what happens. This is what happens when you're in my when you get the perks. So 9 tickets going to my mastermind students, and it is
yes, you can pre-order the book. Devon dropped the blog. Yeah. DevonGroup.shop.
Yep, you can pre-order the book, DevonGroup.shop. As far as this conference is in Orlando, Florida, 9 free tickets. It's full of folks who want to invest using their retirement funds. But they don't know where to go. So I'm gonna help them. So I'm actually sponsoring one of the sponsors for the event. So that's why I get 10 tickets. So one of them's going to Amina and her husband. I don't know if they want to use it, but if they want to use it, they got it. And then 9 going to my mastermind students.
Cool. Y'all are lucky. I mean, I'm lucky too, but
that's the perks. You know, when you're investing, you're part of my perks. You're one of my students. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all. Thank you, Amina. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you for having me
up and bringing so much knowledge. This was just
fun.
This is amazing. I mean, you shared a lot of good information. I'm really hoping that people were able to learn and it makes it a little bit more relatable. You know, because you know, your trajectory to investing in 2 hotels, about to get your own hotel, and you have a vacation, you have a beach house. So you're definitely on and popping, girl.
Thank you. I do what I can. Thank you for having me. Anytime, I'll be back.
Awesome. So, and then next week, stay tuned. I am having a special guest, Dr. Janae Walker. She teaches people how to develop a billionaire mindset, right? So Yeah, a lot of my folks who buying hotels, and we got to get you got to get that mindset ready to handle the amount of wealth that you're about to create. You're about to see some zeros that you ain't never seen before. You know, your net worth about to change. You know, did your net worth change a little bit, Dr. James?
It's on the upward trajectory.
Changing a little bit. You know, my
Yeah.
portfolio is about what 30, a little bit over 30 million now.
Yes.
And so you have to, it's a mindset thing. So I really encourage for you all to tune in next week. We're going to hear from again Dr. Janae Walker. Dr. Walker, she's going to she's a billionaire mindset coach to get your mind ready to becoming billionaire. So
Very
thank you.
important.
We'll see you next week, next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. And thank you all for tuning in during your lunch break.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Amina.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.